Hello everyone. It's great to see you back for today's video. Grab a cup of tea and let's dive into the next part of our story from last time. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to encourage me to create even more stories in the future. Now, let's get started. As they drove, Emily reassured her. "We'll be staying at my father's house tonight. You'll love him. He's very kind, and there's a special room just for you." Sophie looked at Emily with gratitude and a bit of apprehension. The idea of a new place seemed to bring her some comfort, though the unknown still weighed on her. When they arrived, Robert greeted them warmly. The guest room was thoughtfully prepared, each detail carefully arranged to create a welcoming space. Sophie's eyes lit up, and she managed a shy smile, visibly comforted by the cozy environment. "Here's your space, Sophie. Make yourself at home. You're our special guest," Robert said, his voice gentle and warm. Emily watched with tenderness as Sophie took in the safety and calm of her surroundings, hoping the girl could find a little peace here. Now, dressed in her own clothes, Sophie's situation became more evident through her worn garments, which moved Emily to want to improve her comfort. Emily quietly stepped out, heading to a nearby store to buy new clothes for Sophie, leaving her in Robert's care. When she returned and showed Sophie the new clothes, Sophie's eyes filled with emotion, her hand reaching out to touch the soft fabric before hesitating. Emily noticed her reluctance and sat beside her. "My dear, you can accept these," she said gently. "You can accept these, Sophie. I'm not a stranger anymore, and your stepfather agreed to leave you in my care tonight," Emily reassured her. With eyes still full of tears and a shy smile, Sophie accepted the clothes. After a moment of silence, she looked up at Emily and murmured, "It's been so long since I had new clothes." Emily's heart ached hearing this. Holding Sophie's hands, she replied with a choked voice, "Well, now you do, dear. And remember, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you." Seeing the perfect moment, Emily pulled out the delicate cross necklace she had shown Sophie before. Holding it up, she said softly, "This necklace was a gift from my mother for protection. I think it would look even better on you now. I want you to have it, Sophie, to keep you safe." Sophie looked at the necklace, her eyes shining with emotion. With a shy and grateful smile, she accepted the gift, feeling more loved and protected than she had in a long time. A single tear rolled down her cheek as she hugged Emily, finding comfort she hadn't felt in years. That evening, Robert prepared a hearty meal, thinking of Sophie's well-being. When she saw the generous spread on the table, Sophie was amazed. "Doctor, can I take some food home? I'm always hungry at night because we don't have much food there," she asked, her expression somber. "Of course, sweetheart. Tomorrow, before you leave, I'll prepare some containers for you," Emily replied, exchanging a look with her father, tears in her eyes. Trying to understand more, Emily gently asked, "What was your stepfather so urgently busy with yesterday?" "I'm not supposed to talk about my life, Doctor," Sophie replied cautiously. "Jack doesn't like it." Her words left Emily with a heavy heart, though Sophie quickly added, "I'm really hungry. Can I eat now?" "Of course, dear. Help yourself and eat as much as you'd like," Emily encouraged, smiling warmly. Sophie ate as though she hadn't had a full meal in days, savoring every bite of Robert's delicious cooking. After dinner, Emily suggested they watch a movie together. They settled onto the sofa, and with a full belly and a sense of peace, Sophie drifted off to sleep before the movie ended. Emily gently carried her to the guest room, tucking her in with care as if she were her own child. She murmured softly, My room is just down the hall, dear. If you need anything, just call." Emily gave Sophie a tender look before turning off the light, her heart heavy but determined to protect her at all costs. The next morning, Sophie woke up with a ravenous hunger. Seeing the breakfast table filled with options, she shyly asked if she could take some food home. Emily's heart tightened, and she replied, "Of course, dear. I'm packing some delicious things just for you." After breakfast, the living room was set up with educational games, and Emily and Sophie spent the morning playing together. Emily watched her, her heart aching as she realized how much this sweet, gentle child deserved a stable, loving home. For Sophie, Emily's home became a temporary haven, a place where she could finally relax and have fun without worry. Suddenly, a knock on the door broke the peace. Robert opened it to find Jack, who had come to collect Sophie. Sophie, caught up in the games and laughter, showed clear reluctance to leave. "Let's go, Sophie," Jack called, his tone impatient. "Already?" Sophie asked, her face falling in disappointment. "Yes, Sophie." "Now," he insisted, leaving no room for negotiation. Instantly, Sophie's joy faded, replaced by a visible unease. She clung to Emily, her voice trembling as she whispered, "Don't let him take me, doctor." "Emily, please." Jack stood impassive, his gaze cold and unreadable. "Sophie, I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Let's go now," he said impatiently. Emily felt anger rising within her, but she knew she had to handle this carefully. Trying to maintain composure, she asked, "Is everything all right, Jack? Is there anything I can help with?" Jack, well practiced in deflecting questions, ignored her, his face an unbreakable wall of silence. Robert, observing the tense exchange, stayed in the background, offering Emily silent support. Emily knew she had to face this situation alone. Reluctantly, and filled with suspicion about Sophie's home life, Emily carefully helped her gather her things. She packed a small bag with food and clothes, hoping this small act of care might offer Sophie a bit of comfort in the challenging days ahead. Emily had packed a bag filled with everything Sophie might need, along with carefully prepared food, each item a symbol of her unconditional care. "Sophie, I'm sorry, but you need to listen to your stepfather. I promise everything will be okay. Trust me," Emily said, her voice calm, hoping to ease Sophie's anxiety. Sophie nodded, tears still falling as she looked back at Emily. Reluctantly, she let go and followed Jack, leaving behind the house that had been a brief haven of warmth and laughter. Jack took Sophie's hand, guiding her out of the home that had served as a sanctuary, however temporary. Emily stayed at the door, her heart heavy as she watched them leave, torn between feelings of powerlessness and determination. The pain and fear in Sophie's eyes as she left only intensified Emily's resolve to uncover the truth and help Sophie find a safe and loving environment. Driven by a fierce mix of worry and resolve, Emily got into her car, started the engine almost instinctively, and decided to follow them. With Jack and Sophie just visible through her windshield, Emily stepped on the gas. The road became a twisting maze of curves and narrow paths, each turn adding to the tension. Jack's car veered through increasingly degraded streets, forcing Emily to slow down. Her heart raced, reflecting both the intensity of the pursuit and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. After several kilometers, they entered a neighborhood marked by hardship. Small, clustered houses with worn facades painted in faded colors lined the streets, littered with potholes and trash, casting a sense of abandonment. Graffiti-covered walls spoke of frustration and struggle, while the polluted air carried a harsh scent that made breathing difficult. When Jack's car finally stopped, Emily watched as he and Sophie got out, the surroundings mirroring the challenging reality of Sophie's life. Emily kept her distance, observing as they walked toward an old house. Its weathered structure stood still, as though frozen in time, with an air of neglect. Driven by a protective instinct, Emily approached quietly and found a window where she could glimpse inside. Her heart raced, pounding in her chest as she strained to hear fragments of their conversation. She moved carefully, staying close to the worn walls, her senses heightened, every nerve on edge as she focused on the muffled voices. Her hands trembled slightly, and the coldness of the environment seemed to intensify her unease. Each word she managed to catch only deepened her concerns. "Don't tell anyone we're here. I don't want you going outside, understand?" Jack's voice carried a sense of urgency and secrecy that raised alarm. Every word heightened the sense of fear and confirmed Emily's worst suspicions. Attempting to inch closer, Emily's foot accidentally hit loose gravel, the sound breaking the tense silence. The noise echoed, and she felt her pulse quicken, her heart pounding harder as she froze, hoping she hadn't been detected. But Jack turned abruptly, his face showing surprise and worry at the sight of Emily outside. She realized this moment could change everything and felt the weight of the situation pressing on her. "Doctor, what are you doing here?" Jack's voice held a mixture of fear and defiance. Emily stammered, struggling to find her words. "Doctor." "Emily, did you come to take me back to your house?" Sophie shouted, a spark of joy lighting her face. Her innocence was evident, her happiness pure. What will happen next? To find out, make sure to watch the next video in this story. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a single upcoming story. Your support is our greatest motivation to keep crafting meaningful stories. Now, goodbye for now, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.